What's up, y'all? Get on in here, get on in here, get on in here. Let's talk about something real quick. First things first, if you are already a follower and or a subscriber, thank you. Welcome back. I appreciate you being here with me. If you are not subscribed yet, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, baby. What are you doing? And if you're not following me yet, go ahead and hit that follow button, baby. What are you doing? Today, we are coming in hot with an episode of
Divine Justice, Spiritual Victors Unit.
So first things coming out, money. Money is the motive. So somebody may have paid to have some kind of work done, right? Um, this is like black magic, voodoo, hoodoo, doo-doo, juju, whatever it is. They were doing this to clean something up. So they threw a ritual.
What is happening?
While at this ritual, there was something that took place
Run! Get out of here!
in regards to this male figure. This man is coming out as being a monitoring spirit. This could be something that they try to summon up. This could be a practitioner who was used to monitor you to get some type of energy, to get some money, to take your joy. But this was fraud gone wrong. They weren't able to do this. It's coming out as a revenge plot. Somebody was trying to get you back. They weren't able to do this. They weren't able to collect on the voodoo that was done. Okay? It's like they did this ritual. They were almost trying to sit back and wait to see what would happen, to see if they could clear something up, clean something up by energy harvesting, right? They couldn't do this. This ritual was to attack something that you had going on. It's coming out as a child. It doesn't necessarily have to be. This could be a business, your purpose. This ritual was done almost to sacrifice your purpose. And not just sacrifice it, right? They didn't want to take it from you. They wanted you to give this up. Now, everything was supposed to go smoothly while they were at this ritual, possibly summoning whatever spirit or speaking to the practitioner, whoever this male figure is. They were on their way to do this and they got turned around. They got turned around by your ancestors. It's coming out in grandparent energy. You could have a grandparent, maybe both, maybe several, that are looking out for you. So, spiritually, right? Your grandparent, your ancestor, your elder, put the pause on them. Okay? They turned this practitioner, is coming out in that energy. This is somebody who was supposed to stalk and monitor you spiritually. They humbled this young man. They humbled him, and whatever it was that they are trying to clean up is given heavy on the just to keep you from earning monetarily. That is, um, they're trying to clear up some kind of fraud. They're not able to do that. It actually got them locked up in spiritual jail. And that spiritual jail is whatever it is that they were trying to bind to you, it is now bound to them. So the ritual that was done was supposed to bring an ending to whatever this is that you're working on, whatever this thing is that you have just birthed, this coming out as a younger child. So this is something that you just started, just opened a business, just, you know, started working for yourself. Um, the ritual was supposed to get something from being profitable for you or and to get you to give it up, to get you to sacrifice it, almost like cast an illusion for you that this thing wasn't working so that you would walk away from it. You doing this would have made this, whoever this is that's targeting you, this would have I guess, allowed them to feel like they had smooth sailing. They would have been able to cover up some kind of fraud that they had going on, and they would have been able to just get off scot-free. So this practitioner is down bad. Okay. Again, this magic was supposed to end your purpose, you know. So they're on the road to be ended, because whatever this is that they tried to bind to you is giving death magic, unaliving magic. They're now bound to that. Yeah, so this was supposed to get them out of the woods. If they were able to get you to give it up, get you to walk away from it, cast some type of illusion to make you think it wasn't working. They are under judgment and they're bound. This is how they're being forced to sit down at this time, right? Whatever it is that they sent to you to kind of sit you down, to slow you down, to stop you, they're now bound with that while they're going through judgment. But this person has done this before. Okay, again, it's coming off heavy practitioner energy. They're coming out as a spiritual assassin. Okay, so they have taken many things from many people unjustly. So now that they have done this to you, it was almost like the final straw, the straw that broke the camel's back. And this person, this practitioner, now has to go through judgment, undergo judgment for not only what they did to you, but for what they have done to anyone else that they have come into contact with. This practitioner got stuck possibly in the middle of this ritual by your ancestors. They weren't able to move forward. Instead, they got a backfire before they could even finish it. It's almost like the thought of it brought them a backfire. But this is someone who tries to remain hidden because they're part of some kind of group, and they met with a coven, a cult. They agreed upon this. This was supposed to be easy. It didn't go anything how the meeting said. In fact, they can't even get in touch with the person that they were doing this for, or anyone else that was at this ritual. Everybody has kind of fled the scene because they didn't want to get hit with backfires. But it's not just hitting this practitioner, it's hitting everybody involved. Okay, so your purpose is coming up as something that couldn't be overcome by this supposed spiritual assassin. They weren't able to take this out. They weren't able to take you down. They weren't able to get you to give this up. You may know who this is, you may not, but it's coming out not to feel bad for this person, these people. We got regret in the reverse. Um, don't feel anything, because they were trying to not only unalive you, but unalive your future by attacking your purpose, by attacking your funds. Okay, now all of their shit is being brought to the light, and people want revenge on this practitioner specifically. They may be very famous in the spiritual community, meaning they may be very high ranking. This is someone who, their stay here is very short, and they got people on the other side waiting for them, and not with big warm hugs. Now, this may have been what they were trying to cover up. They may have been trying to bind themselves to you so that they can cloak under you, um, use you for your protection, um, possibly even unalive you. Maybe there was some kind of reward. They were promised some kind of level up if they made something look like a natural disaster. Um, yeah, no. That got returned to sender. Your ancestors, your elders, your spirit team put the smack down on this person, and they may be trying to, they may be thinking about taking themselves out of here. But this is because of the backfire. They sent unaliving magic to you. Well, it didn't hit you. So it has to go back to where it came from. And they may not be that strong to take it, strong enough to overcome it, to overpower it. They couldn't overpower you. They couldn't overpower your purpose. They could not get a gang of people, a gaggle of people to come up against you, and it actually worked. So yeah, they're being brought to justice now. So this practitioner may be very afraid because they don't want to leave. They don't want to go. They don't want to make it to the upper room. Not that they were getting there anyway, but you know. So yeah, they're in their emotions at this time, very feminine, but very it's coming out as a female in reverse. So very unstable, very unhealed. This person is trapped in that energy. They're very afraid. None of their coven, cult, whomever, right? This group, whoever even had them, paid them to do this, they can't even get in touch with anybody to help them out. They may be feeling betrayed. And this may be why they're thinking about sacrificing themselves as well. It's like everything is hitting them as a flood. This is what they wanted for you, though. This practitioner may have traveled to your home to place something outside your home, um, maybe some graveyard dirt or whatever it is that they do, and they were trying to, I guess, bury this somewhere on your property. They did have help doing this. We got a spouse or partner out here, so their significant other was helping them. Maybe one was the getaway driver and the other one knew the spell. I don't know, honey, but they got stopped in their tracks. It's also coming out as being a family business for them. This is what they both do. So this practitioner is probably married. If they're not married, they just have a significant other, and this is how they earn their living. Um, they have committed a string of sacrifices, and now they're being held accountable. This was supposed to be something that happened fast, you know, but it's something about you showing up on possibly social media that is infuriating them because it's letting them know that this did not work. They may have broken their phone while they were watching you. There's justice here, and they're trying to outrun it. But at this point, it's every man for themselves. Even the spouse of this person, they don't want to get involved anymore. But it's also given that they were doing this for their leaders, right? We got this older male and female coming out here. So this could be like the leaders of their group, whatever group that may be, coven that may be. This was their assignment. And since they couldn't do this to you, all of this shit is starting to hit the fan, even things that they thought that they buried and would never come back up again. Now everybody's scattering like roaches. It's every man for themselves. And they're afraid of each other. They may be trying to take each other out at this point because they all have so much dirt on each other. They all know that none of them can get out of this gym. It's just like all of this final attempt to take you down, to keep you from moving forward, to keep you from your destiny, has literally caused so much chaos in their own world with their own, let's not call them friends. These people know not friends, with their own acquaintances. The judgment may be for these people to be earthbound. They got to take another lap around the sun, quite possibly. And some of their judgments are, simply for them to get taken out of here, and then they're going to the sauna. It's beautiful. This may have been two different groups that have come together on your behalf. This older couple, this male and female, they may not even be a part of the same group. This could be two leaders of two different groups, but it's coming out that they're celebrities. That could simply mean that, they're famous for doing this to people. They're famous in their community anyway for doing these things to people. This may have been some kind of oath that they took, something that they had bound themselves to. And this is ultimately something that is bringing them down. These people are in quicksand right now, sinking deeper and deeper the more that they try to get out. At the bottom of that quicksand is the hot place, okay? So it's like they're trying to get out of that, but the more that they try to get out of that, the deeper they go. I feel like there was something, this last attempt is the straw that broke the camel's back. So people are deserting them. And this is also your justice because they wanted people to desert you. They also wanted you to desert your future. So this is what's happening in their life. They don't know how to fix it. This is something that they cannot fix. There is no illusion that they can cast to change this or to kind of get people to see them in a different light. There's exposure coming because of this. Their truths are coming out. All of their lies are being revealed. If people had rose-colored glasses on while looking at them, all of a sudden those glasses are clear viewed. People aren't looking at them with the same kind of. They don't have the clout, the recognition that they once had because they couldn't take you down. They could be fallen angels. They could be looking at you as an earth angel that they could not get to submit. And they were trying to remain hidden, but I feel like that's not working. This is the time for exposure. So even if they were trying to cover up anything that they did in the past, if they're still trying to mask now, it's only backfiring on them, and it's backfiring very fast. There were some things that they did have hidden. They may have, buried some things in a pit. Those things are being uncovered. So they're finding themselves in the pit that they wanted you in. Unfortunately for them, they're not going to survive this pit. Okay. You may have been in a pit a time or two. That's where your resilience came from. That's where you were able to overcome. That's why you have this strength and this willpower now. These people don't have that. Everything that they have is fake. It's fake confidence, fake pride. They are very prideful, but for the wrong reasons and for the wrong things. But yeah, So they're not going to survive what they tried to do to you. So you may be coming out in this celebrity energy as well. People may be looking at you how they once looked at these people, celebrities almost. That's how they're looking at you. Not that you want them to, but they're looking at you almost as someone who cannot be taken down. Like you are truly connected to the source, or you are the source. And as people are seeing that, they are separating themselves. Those who already didn't get caught up, they're trying to now go back and clean up their messes before they suffer the same fate. But it's coming out that this entire group has major debts. A lot of their debts are behind this practitioner. So this was not a man-made disaster. This was actually something very thought out, very well planned um, by Source. While they thought that they were being sneaky, Source was being sneaky. The universe was being sneaky. Karma was being sneaky. While they thought that they were keeping secrets, yeah, okay, well, we're going to secretly expose you, and we're going to use you to expose yourself. There's a lot of negative energy right now amongst these people. They know that they're stuck. They may have lost their gifts. They may have, you know, started losing things. Depending on the circumstance, they may have started losing people. But since this is a business that they were targeting, they damn sure lost that. Okay, there's no money to be made. And that's not just for this practitioner and his wife or whoever the spouse may be. That's for the entire community. Okay, I feel like you're healing from this. You're healing from some kind of, they may have done death magic in regards to your finances, thus putting you in poverty. You're healing from that. And as you're healing from that, they are going into that. They, like I said, they are losing everything. They're losing a lot of money. Um, you know, it's a sad day for them. And they're damn sure losing their minds. I said that earlier. They're losing their gifts. It's coming out as being intuition. You know, I look at that as, and then we have intuition falling out on top of serial unaliver. So that's telling me that the divine is clearing their wisdom. Okay, yep, mind control. Yeah, the universe is, driving them crazy. Well, really, it's they're being tormented by their own memories, and they're not being protected. Your ancestors may be haunting them heavily. I'm hearing, I am your conscience. Your ancestors may be playing games in their head. Um, any monitoring spirits that they may have summoned up for you, those are going back. This person is being watched like a hawk. So this celebrity practitioner, this famous practitioner, right? Um, they have some really dark things in their closet. I mean, obviously, but there are some things that they did that they were trying to escape from, and somebody wants to bring that out to the light. I feel like this is someone who is a part of their own team, their own group. Um, they want revenge, quite possibly because this backfire has hit them all, And they were all pointing the finger at this one person. This person cannot save themselves, let alone the rest of the group, right? So this is something that they're trying to outrun. Um, if they were paying people to be quiet about the things that were hidden about them, they no longer have the money to do this. Their powers to do any hoodoo, voodoo, whatever black magic that they do, they don't have the ability to do that anymore. They can't get unjust gains. So even if they were trying to come up financially, they can't do that. There's something about life insurance here that they weren't able to receive because they weren't able to complete either this ritual or just to complete you. And then there's a female here that's also been deserted. This could quite possibly be the spouse of this practitioner or the partner in crime. This person is also not out of the woods. It's like this ball is just now starting to kick off with their judgment. And this is something that they have been able to evade for a while. They can't do that shit no more. There was something that she may have done as a crime of passion. Yeah, and she's going through legal proceedings for that. She may have committed an unaliving, or that may be her fate. But she may have committed an unaliving to receive a gift. This could be, destiny swapping, right? Yep, destiny swapping and abuse of power. So this female, this partner in crime, this person's spouse is coming out as someone that they're dating, could possibly be a spouse. They're under judgment as well because someone was watching them very heavily while they did this crime of passion. So this woman may lose everything. If she had any businesses or any relationships or anything worth having, it's all being stripped for being a part of this cult. The whole group is being accused at this time. They're all being held imprisonment spiritually while they undergo legal proceedings. And for their connections. So this is the spiritual RICO. And I believe this is a civil conspiracy, an agreement between two or more people to commit an unlawful act or a lawful act by unlawful means. So in that, it also means that once proven, all members are not only jointly held accountable for the things that the whole group has done, but then they're also held accountable individually. So even if some unalivings were not committed by a particular person, because they're a part of this group, they are going to be held accountable for that. And the actual person who actually did it, or they're going to be held accountable for that. So this is the RICO, right? There is no running away from this. There is no getting out of this. Again, they may have been trying to bind themselves to people to cloak I think that was the job of this practitioner. They may be trying to take themselves out of here because they may feel like, you know, they may feel like they're going through a home invasion, meaning, they're being haunted. They could be accused of doing some kind of home invasion. Um, but irregardless, they're not. This is not a very good time for them. They may be trying to get rid of. Excuse me. They may be trying to get rid of a phone. They may have tried to destroy some type of evidence. Maybe there was a burner phone involved that they were trying to destroy because there was some evidence in that. Um, they're not able to do that. Well, they were able to get rid of the phone, but the evidence, we're talking spiritually, there's nothing you can do. Like, what are we doing here? I feel like we're talking about a group of people who only believe in spiritual things when they work for them, and when it's not working for them, then they forget that it even exists. Because if it's a spiritual thing, you can get rid of the phone. You've still been seen. That could also be a part of them losing their wisdom. But this cult, to be honest with you, this whole group, this family, all of these people who have been recklessly trying to come for you, they're not sorry. They may be sorry that they're bound, but not even really. I feel like they think that, their true leader, which is the devil, will get them out of this jam. Um, but that's quite literally who got them in it. So it's like some things are kind of going over their head here. They're on the road that many have traveled, leading to destruction. They may have taken this road, a road that someone else in their bloodline, their family had taken before. Maybe they didn't feel like they would be held accountable. I don't know. But it's now they want to get up out of this fire. They want to come up out of this heat. They want to come up out of this storm. But the I feel like this cult felt like they knew ways to kind of keep them from judgment. Those ways aren't working anymore. And so this is something that they're not going to be able to recover from. And that's why they're not sorry. They're still trying to find a way. They believe in themselves. Isn't that beautiful? So this home invasion that they're going through, this haunting, right? It's almost like many spirits have settled in their home. This is causing their truths to be exposed. Why? Simply because, this is driving them mad. Okay, so they have to tell someone. They want to tell someone they need help. They want help. They're not going to receive the help that they need. The people who were a part of this organized crime with them, well, they're no longer organized now, are they? So yeah, I think they're getting a lesson in you know what and who true friends are, true relationships are. They became partners in crime with whatever devil this is that just had to take you down, and they allowed their mind to become a playground for this demonic ass spirit. And well, now they're trying to hide the evidence of that. They don't want people to know that this is something that they've been a part of. But this is being seen. They're being seen as being jealous. Their tracks weren't covered with whatever this is that they did to you, meaning like you can actually, there may be physical proof of what they were trying to do to you. But again, this is coming out as almost being like divine revenge. I feel like this person thought that they were going to be protected. This is why they came in again trying to bind you, but they were doing this on behalf of someone else. Again, we're only speaking about the practitioner. Okay, so I guess we'll get to your actual culprit in a later episode. But today's episode is in regards to the practitioner and company. Okay, so yeah, they're all being revealed. Their organized crime is no longer organized. They're turning on each other, and that looks like them telling on each other, right? They are attacking each other with the truths that they know about one another. It's almost very interesting to see. This may be a blessing in disguise for many people, definitely for you, but this was not a man-made, this isn't an accident. This is divinely orchestrated for this to happen this way, because this is how the entire community is taking themselves down. You know, they're falling on their own swords. So yeah, they need help and they know it. Um, but the help that they want, they were trying to force help, do hidden things, sneaky things. Now they're being forced to surrender. Okay, they're being humbled. People see what they're going through and they look like they need help. This is something that they know that they're not going to be able to overcome because they know what they did. We got the voodoo doll coming out again. So that means, that's telling me they know exactly what they did. The voodoo doll is coming on top of healing in the reverse. They know that they're not going to make it through this. This is why they're running and looking for help that they're not going to find. Okay, so that concludes today's episode of
Divine Justice, Spiritual Victors Unit.
So yeah, if anything else comes out, you guys know I will be back. Other than that, lady, bye.